Hey y'all, I used to think that I had to do all these things in order to grow my business. So I was running all these sales. Anytime I heard a beauty business coach mention something, I was running to do it, hoping it would work for me. And all this stuff really just left me exhausted. So I stopped doing a lot of stuff in my business. And today I want to share with you 6 things I stopped doing that didn't grow my business at all. So I'm going to share what I stopped doing, why I stopped doing it, and what I do now, and the lesson that I learned during that time. For those of y'all who don't know me, my name is Danielle. I run 2 different skincare businesses, a retail skincare business, and then I also wholesale. And I teach Christian beauty bosses how to build a profitable skincare business. So let's get into number one. Here is the first thing, well, these are in no order, but here's the first thing on the list of one of the things I stopped doing, and that is influencer marketing. So, this is a big thing. A lot of people want to work with influencers thinking that's going to grow their brand. And so that's why I did it. I was like, well, I need to get somebody bigger than me to promote my products. And then maybe if this person can market my products and has a big following, then I'll get more sales. And y'all, it's expensive. And a lot of times it's a headache because you're working with people, and unless you do thorough research and you're willing to spend a lot of money, a lot of times this just doesn't work. People are just getting products, they're promoting it, and maybe you get a couple of sales, but it really doesn't move the needle. And so the lesson I learned there is my budget is not big enough for real influencer marketing, and I needed to find another way. So that's number one. Number two, I was running random sales, and this was actually hurting my business. So what happens when you just run random sales, when you're just like, "Oh, I need to make more sales, and then you just do something random? One, it trains your community, your customers, that you just have a lot of random sales. And that's not good because then it lowers the chance for those people to pay full price. The other thing it does is it cuts your profits down. So you're hoping to make more money, but a lot of times you barely make anything because you discount everything. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't run any sales. I'm just saying running multiple sales randomly just to make sales, that's not a good strategy. In my retail business, I run 3 sales per year. I run a sale to celebrate my business anniversary. I run a sale to celebrate my birthday. And then I have my Black Friday sale. That's 3 sales. I don't run any other sales. People come, they shop full price. Yes, I offer a welcome discount code for new shoppers. But for the most part, everyone is paying full price and they're okay with that. They're not expecting a lot of discounts. Listen, I don't know about you, but I don't run a business to not make any profit. That is not sustainable. That's not being a good steward over the business that the Lord has given you. And so it's got to make sense. So I stopped running those sales because it wasn't making financial sense, and I was tired of people just waiting for a sale to shop. I just wanted them to shop whenever they needed the products. Um, and then the lesson that I learned there is discounting your value is not helpful to anyone. You don't want to cheapen your brand by running a bunch of sales, and you don't want to discount the hard work that you're putting in to create all these products and everything that goes into shipping the products out. Like, you don't want to discount none of that. So, the sales should really be like celebrations. Like, we're celebrating something. This is a big deal. And that's why I only have 3 sales per year. The third one on here is stalking other businesses. I think we have all done this. You don't know what you're doing. I certainly didn't. I built my retail business completely clueless. So if you don't know what you're doing, it is okay. There is hope. There's hope for you. There's hope for me. There's hope for you. Um, I would go on to Instagram and TikTok, and I would see what all these bigger small businesses were doing. I would look at the bigger retail brands and try to mimic what they were doing. And sure, you may get lucky a couple of times, but again, it's not sustainable. And so I stopped doing it because I didn't have a business that was reflecting their mission, their values, their products. My business was my business. And so I had to get very, very clear on what Danielle was doing and what she was trying to create. And so now I don't have a content creation problem. I don't have a marketing problem because I know what I'm doing. I'm not trying to figure out what everybody else is doing. And honestly, it is a time sucker. It really is. You spend so much time looking at everybody else that you don't wasted all that time. You could have been working on what you got going on. So I stopped doing that. And the lesson I learned there is authenticity is overlooked in small businesses. It really is. So many small businesses are trying to be like the next small business instead of building something that is true to them. And I think if you can really dig deep and discover what you're trying to build, the value you are bringing to your customers, you would be in so much of a better place than trying to mimic what everybody else is doing. Number four, saying yes to everything. So I naturally like to please people. I like to make people feel good. I like to help people. And so what was happening was I was overextending myself and I was saying yes to things that I really didn't even want to do. I was just trying to be nice. And I think this is an overall life lesson that all of us need to work on is stop saying yes to everything. If you can't make it work in your schedule, if you got to rearrange too many things, if you don't want to, just say no. And the other thing is you don't have to give a reason. And I know that's hard because we don't want to come across mean, we don't want to come across like we don't care. But the truth of the matter is you don't owe anybody an explanation. Let your yes be a yes and your no be a no and stop creating additional stress for yourself in effort to just be nice or please somebody else. If it doesn't work for you, if it doesn't align with your schedule and what you're trying to build and everything that you're trying to manage, the answer is no. And again, you don't have to give an explanation. So um I stopped saying yes to everything. And the lesson there is my time is valuable. And one thing I have learned being married to my husband is I need to advocate for myself. I used to didn't advocate for myself because I was a people pleaser. I just kind of went with it. Um and just made it work. And now like I truly do advocate for myself because my time is valuable. What I'm trying to build is valuable. And I can't risk it to avoid hurting somebody's feelings, okay? And a lot of times that's all in your head anyways, you're not really hurting anybody's feelings. They're just like, "Okay, I understand. I know you got a lot going on." And if they don't understand, I don't know. Pray for them. I don't know. Um, Number 5, releasing new products every month or very often. All right. I thought that I had to continue to push out products all the time in order to get sales, in order to keep things fresh, in order to keep uh, having things to post about. And y'all, that ended. It ended. And I just had such a weight lifted because you don't need more products to make sales. And this is hopefully going to be helpful to someone who is very early in their business. You don't have to offer a whole lot to make money. Start small, get really, really good at the small things, and then build. But to just keep adding stuff on, hoping that the next thing is going to sell when you ain't even figured out how to sell what you have is stressful. It's also a lot of money that's wasted, a lot of time that's wasted. And so the lesson I learned there is I don't have to have something new in order to make new sales. Again, it goes back to focusing on what you already have and getting really, really good at selling those things before investing your time and your money into something new. And that's not to say that you can't launch new things. Of course, if you have a lot of people asking you for things and you've done your research and there is a market for that within your business, within your customer list, then yes, launch your products, girl. But to just be launching stuff in hopes of making new sales, cut it. And then the last thing is posting perfect content. So, what I used to do is try to make sure everything was as perfect as it could be before I would post it. And it's just a delay. It just creates such a delay because nothing is ever going to be truly perfect. Post what you can, post where you are, post the content. Stop overthinking the content because then you're really not going to be putting out any content. And if you're trying to do online marketing, you need to post content. And people resonate with people being their authentic self. You don't have to have the perfect bathroom. You don't have to have the perfect counters. You don't have to have the perfect attire. Like, just do what you do. Be real. That's what people are looking for. And they're looking for you to share your story. So instead of thinking so much about like, I gotta have this perfect content in terms of like the video or picture that you're posting, focus more on your story. Focus more on how you are bringing value to the people that you are hoping to serve. Post about that type of stuff. Get really good at that, about talking about your brand instead of being so focused on the video and the look of everything. That really exhausted me and it made me hate creating content. And so I stopped. I was like, I'm just going to do me. I'm going to post what I want. I'm going to share. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to show people the behind the scenes. This isn't perfect. I'm a real person. I'm a mom. I got 2 kids. I got a lot going on. And most people do. And that's relatable. And so if you can get out of this picture perfect mindset of what it's supposed to look like and just post what's real for you, I believe that goes a lot further. And so, again, the lesson here is just don't try to be something that you're not. Be authentic. It goes a lot further and it is much more relatable to people. People shop with small businesses because they want to support people. That's why people are coming to small businesses. They want to support a person, they want to support a mission versus shopping at these big brands who will never notice them, who don't care about them. So know that and work off of that. So those are the 6 things that I stopped doing that did not grow my business. We have not skipped a beat and it is so much better. When you just let go of things that truly aren't working. So, if you are new here, please subscribe. Please share this video with another beauty boss to help her out.